One day, I saw my mother walking into the house, looking completely discouraged and despondent. I knew right away what had happened. She had gone to get some bread, and the lineup was very, very long. When 5 o'clock struck, she had no choice but to come back empty-handed. The pain in her eyes was killing me.
I picked myself up as if on command and quickly walked out of the door. Taking off my yellow armband, I walked with my head up, with long, steady strides, very determined. I felt certain that if I just showed complete confidence, the Germans would not suspect that I was Jewish. I knocked on the back door of Esther's parents' bakery. They opened the door, looking at me in surprise. Not many words were spoken. I only said that my mother had been here and had not made it to the front of the line. They let me take a few kilograms of bread. No weight would have been too heavy for me, but I must have appeared not very strong. A tall German soldier behind me said,
"Little girl, isn't it too heavy for you?"
He was about 10 steps away from me. I could almost hear my heart pounding with fear. My poor brain was racing like mad. What was I to say? I kept walking and didn't stop. There was no time to waste. Suddenly, he was already beside me.
"Please, can I help you carry it?"
I handed over my precious cargo.
"Yes, it's heavy."
I still didn't know what to say. I already had a sense of impending disaster. Each minute seemed a century long.
"Where do you live?"
Not far from here. Please, I can carry it myself. It's not that far. I was left with only one choice as we got closer to my house. To sacrifice myself in place of all those close to me.
I sat through all the possible outcomes before deciding on how to reach into the depths of someone's heart. My intuition was right, but luck was also with me again. I said gently,
"You know that I am Jewish." I took off my band. My mother came home without any bread, and I can't stand seeing everyone go hungry tonight. He looked at me.
"Okay, let's go to your house."
"But we can't."
"Don't worry, I will not harm anyone."
I didn't believe him, and I was starting to feel desperate. "My father just came back from the prison," I said. "He won't survive seeing me walk into the house with a German soldier."
"Please, trust me. You can go ahead and tell them."
I still didn't believe him, but I went in anyway. I must have been shivering. "What is it?" Mother asked. "Are you cold?" "No, it's worse than that." I told them the story, and in walked the German soldier. There was dead silence.
"You have a very nice daughter. Please, don't be scared of me. I'm just a man like you. I also have a family, and seeing this little girl carrying such a heavy load for her family, risking her life, touched something deep in me."
Everybody took a breath of relief. I'm Betty Rich. I am the author of my memoirs, Little Girl Lost, which covers the first 25 years of my life. I kept journals most of my life, but the story of this book that I'm talking about is totally different. I never dealt with with the Holocaust survivor as my experience. I was just running away from it. I didn't want to deal with it. Suddenly something in me woke up and said, "Well, it's enough. Running away from yourself." And I started writing, and it consumed me totally. But I felt relieved. I got it off. I got it out of me. My parents always kept saying that I'm different. I had this ability to face situations, make decisions. And another thing that is very helpful for me in my survival kit, I call it my whole life, is that I have an ability to reach humanity in the other person, touch humanity, and that's what helped me to survive. I crossed over into Soviet-occupied Poland early in the war when I was just 16. My parents and the rest of my family stayed behind, and I spent almost 5 years of the war in the Soviet Union. I had 14 very hard months in the labor camp in Archangel, north of Siberia. But there were nice times too, with a group of young people who became close friends. So we arrive in Lvov, everybody's screaming and the war is over, and I'm already on a Polish soil. Poland, my native Poland. So I look at Joseph, Joseph looks at me. Where do we go? We go to Lodz. Lodz I know very well because I had my relatives there. So then I encounter the first survivors. I hear the stories how they survived. But I still don't know anything about my family, where to go, where to look for, nothing. But I heard some other Jewish people that survived tell me the best thing for you to go is to go to the Jewish, has a big Jewish joint, and we go in there, a big building, and my heart is pounding. We don't know anything. I didn't even want to listen to the Holocaust survivors on the street. I don't want to hear too much. I was afraid to hear too much, that I didn't want to. We go in, and I say, Joseph, you go your way in this big building, and I go my way. I don't want you to be with me. There's a big wall, all plastered with lists, lists and lists and lists. I'm standing there, and what I'm looking for the letter K, Kohn, my maiden name. I go down, you know, my eyes are already Kohn. List of survivors. Not victims, survivors. I'm looking for survivors. And I said, I'm blind. Not one Kohn, not one of my family. I have 5 brothers by the name of Kohn and a father. I'm talking about the Kohn. Not one Kohn from my family. I don't know where my legs that carried me even. I didn't know where I was going. So I went through a whole circle, being there, coming back, and now what? Where am I going? Where am I going to be? Where am I going to stay? Who do I have? I still believe that fate is something that one has no control over, so to speak. But in a certain way, in a sense, we have control to a certain extent what we're going to do with the bad situations that fate put us into. I'm angry that the Jews of Europe and the diaspora wasted precious time, and we paid a price for it. I'm so proud of the Israelis, you have no idea, with all the problems they have. They disagree with each other and so on, but finally we became what everybody else is, people that know how to fight. I am very fortunate that I love life, and I love people. In 2009, I finally submitted my manuscript, which was accepted to my great delight. Thanks to the Israeli Foundation, my book was born after 23 years. I hope especially the younger generation try to understand what it takes to be a survivor. All we can do is choose to touch the humanity in each other and fight for a better world. Thank you.